Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. I hope you are having a great day. In today's stories we have a man who just found out that he is the father of a 6-month-old baby, and doesn't know how this will affect his upcoming wedding. And a dad who doesn't seem to care about celebrating big milestones. But not even his son's wedding? Let's see if that's the case. The DNA test came back positive. Male, 28, female, 27, female, 20. I've been with my fiancé for 5 years, but there was a point in our relationship where we split. During that point, I did sleep with someone else and I was told that I was the father of a 6-month-old baby. We are supposed to get married next Saturday. Ceremony, reception and everything, and it's a big wedding. She knows that I was tested, but both of us believed there was no way that I could be the dad. We used a condom and she even said she was on birth control. Honestly, we haven't really even talked about it because it just felt impossible that I was the dad. Jesus. I don't even know what I'm going to tell her or anybody for that matter. O.P. gives more info in the comments. It's not an affair, baby, is it? Not an affair, baby. We seriously did break up because I moved, and she didn't want to do long distance. I ended up coming back and we got back together. You had a break in your relationship and immediately went and effed a teenager? Not gonna lie, that's gross and creepy. It wasn't like that. We broke up and I didn't know she was a teenager. We actually started talking because I picked up her ID on the floor, which indicated it was her 23rd birthday. We broke up because I moved away. We were broken up for about 8 months, and I hooked up with the girl I had a one-night stand with, a few months after the breakup. I decided to move back and that's when I got back together with my fiancé. She knew that I slept with someone else. I want to tell her as soon as possible, but should I tell her over the phone? She's in Chicago and won't be back until Tuesday. It sounds like your fiancé already knows you slept with someone else, the protective measures used, that there was a child anyway, and that there's been a paternity test. Am I understanding that right? Yes, but this is all when we both thought there was no way the baby could be mine, so we didn't give much thought about it. It's a completely different scenario now. I know that we did end up exchanging info, but she, baby's mother, only reached out to me when the baby was 5 months old. Wow, O.P., you are in a tough spot. I understand you guys broke up, but it's going to be a huge blow to your fiancé. You have to tell her, and the decision she makes, you will just have to accept it. Because even though she understands the whole situation, you having a child with someone else isn't something she counted on when she agreed to marry you. But independent of her decision, you are a parent now. And whether you choose to be part of this child's life or not, you will still have to contribute financially until their adult life. Anyway, good luck to all of you. Now let's read the comments before going to the update. Well, your fiancé should know. She should know before the wedding. It would be a real dick move to tell her after. Definitely. Should have phrased my question as how do I tell my fiancé? Dude, you tell her now and prepare yourself mentally to lose your fiancé. This is hard no for a lot of people, and there is a chance she will walk, and she needs to know as soon as possible, in case she needs to cancel or adjust wedding plans. Don't be selfish. There's nothing you can do. It's done. You're a father, congratulations. You need to tell your fiancé immediately. You both tried to ignore it and pretend it wasn't happening, that didn't work. Tell your fiancé, then both of you need to sit down with the mother and figure out a plan. Tell her now. So she has some time to process it before she gets back. To be honest, I would postpone your wedding. This is not a scenario that you can rush, and with the wedding looming over you, it would be easy to go ahead, but what happens in 6 months? You're now a father to child, she isn't the mother of. You will need a co-parenting relationship with your baby's mother for the next 18 years. Visitation, maintenance, holidays, etc. Everything has changed. In 8 days, not only will she be a newlywed, she will also be a step-parent to a young baby. Step-parenting and co-parenting is not easy. Neither is settling in a new marriage. I feel so sorry for her. Update. I told her. I called her because waiting until she was coming back was risky. It was hard and she just asked me questions. From her tone, she wasn't mad, but visibly disappointed. I can't really give a good update until she actually comes back here, because it's so hard to communicate about this through the phone. We were on the phone for a good hour until she had to go. She was just wondering what we're going to do, but we haven't established anything about the wedding, because like I said, it's hard to do so on the phone. How did it go when you told her, since it's now 8 hours later? No concrete decisions. Not sure if the wedding is off, but she told me she'll call me back and we'll talk more once she gets back. And that's all we have so far. There are no more updates from O.P. We don't know if eventually there was a wedding, or what happened with the relationship between him and his fiancée, or what he intends to do regarding his child. Does he intend to be part of this child's life? Or will he only be paying child support? Until this moment, we don't know. And what would you guys do if you were O.P.? Or rather, what would you do if you were O.P.'s fiancé? Would you stay with him? Or not? Please, don't forget to leave your comments down below. Oh, and I hope you are enjoying the video so far. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications to know when a new video is out. Now let's go to the next story. Am I the idiot for leaving my son's wedding early? My son, Alan, 26, male, has just recently gotten married to Helen, 25, 26, female. I love them both very much. It's relevant to mention that I really dislike parties and large gatherings. I'm not sociable at all and I really just dislike them. So it was kind of a downer when I heard that Alan and Helen were going to have a wedding with around 150 people. I told Alan, ahead of time, that I would probably leave early, and that me and the rest of our family would take 2 cars, so that they could stay if they wanted to. He looked like he didn't mind at the time. So, at the wedding itself, after the ceremony, I basically told him that I was glad and it looked great, but I was going to go home. He asked if I was going to at least stay for cake or for food, but the food didn't look all that appetizing to me, so I told him I was just going to leave. He said, "All right, whatever, just go," and I went back to my table to get my stuff. I told my wife and she said she didn't feel comfortable driving back alone. The venue was very far from us and the roads there were not great. I said in that case, she should come with me, and after some hemming and hawing, she agreed. So we left. Then 2 days later, Alan's new wife bombarded me and my wife with messages that she was disgusted with us, saying horrible things about us and insulting us as people and as parents. Really just sickening. I told her off, and asked why she thought it was okay to talk to her in-laws like that, and she said that us leaving ruined the wedding for Alan, and that he was very upset for the rest of the night. She continued to berate us. I politely told her to leave us alone and called Alan, mainly to inform him that his wife had a temper that he should know about. When we talked about it, he basically started berating me too and said things like, "You always do this," and "Just leave me alone," before hanging up. I feel like I'm justified, since I told him ahead of time that I wasn't going to stay. Am I the idiot here? Edit, since so many people care about the details. Yes, there was a mother-son dance planned. Yes, he included me in the count for the food costs. Yes, I love him. No, this does not mean that I do not care about him. OP gives more info in the comments. Info: at what point did you leave the wedding? Had the speeches and dancing happened? I left quite soon after the ceremony ended. The reception hadn't begun yet. OP also said, dancing isn't important. What is this, Footloose? Wow. Look, he's an adult. He knows how to use his words. If he wanted me to stay so badly, then he should have asked. I told him ahead of time that I wasn't sure about staying. Had he asked me then to stay, of course I would have. I feel like she, his wife, is pushing him to be more upset about this than he should be. I feel the same way. I stuck around for the important bits. Okay, so not only did you leave your son's wedding early, and I mean way earlier than is acceptable, but you also made your wife leave with you? Just because she didn't feel comfortable driving back alone. That should have been your reason to stay a little longer. So she can enjoy her son's wedding. You could have at least done that for your wife, since you didn't have the decency to stay for your son's sake. And maybe that was just an excuse that she came up with, so you would stay longer. Have you thought about that? And you still made her miss the mother-son dance? What the hell? I understand that you didn't like that your daughter-in-law was rude to you, but you were also rude to her, to your son, to your wife, and to anyone else who were involved in planning this wedding. You're the idiot, OP. Yes, you told them, ahead of time, that you would leave early. But honestly, I think your son truly believed that you wouldn't leave his wedding like that for no good reason. And yes, he could have asked you to stay when you said you were leaving, but I think at that point he was just tired of being disappointed with you because of this, and didn't want to argue with you among the guests. And based on his comments after, this isn't the first time you've done something like this, and I'm guessing your son isn't the only one who is bothered with this. So once again, you are the idiot, OP. You are the idiot, you didn't even stay for the meal that they paid for. What an absolutely disgusting lack of love and respect from you as a parent. You also strongly armed your wife into leaving too, so your son had no parents present at his reception. How you don't see that you're the a-hole is a mystery to me. 100% you are the idiot. It's your son's wedding, and no matter how uncomfortable you feel, it's your duty as a father to be there. It's one evening. Suck it up, man. You are the idiot. You missed all of the traditional wedding reception things. You didn't make a speech, your wife didn't dance with your son. He didn't have his parents there to celebrate with him even for an hour or two. You didn't express love, just hey you look great, but I am going to leave, and then you dragged your wife with you, all because you couldn't be bothered to give him 2 hours of your time at his wedding. When I read, leaving early, I assumed they at least stayed for the meal and first dances. Nope. Bro dipped out after the ceremony, and bullied his wife into leaving then too. You are the idiot. At first I thought you meant leaving early, like the wedding reception started at 6, and you would leave around 9:30. But you basically only attended the ceremony, and couldn't suck it up to celebrate your son's wedding and marriage for a couple hours. But what about you guys? Would you have done the same as OP? Would they have left your son's wedding, just because you dislike parties? Or would you have endured it and stayed a little longer for his sake? Don't forget to comment. And that's it for today, everyone. I hope you enjoy.